This video is sponsored by Squarespace. Metallic paints are like the cheat code of miniature painting. They're quick, effective, and look great on the gaming table. But what if I told you you could improve your metallic miniatures with a simple twist on a technique that you're already doing, making your metallics faster, more creative, and opens up endless possibilities? It's time we talk about how to unlock your metallic paints. Before we continue, I've heard this technique given several names. Let me know what name you've heard it under in the comments below. Let's start at the beginning. For this technique, the metallics are the star of the show, so we're keeping everything else simple and streamlined. Not only does this help the painting process move more quickly, but it also ensures the metallics really stand out. That said, there are a few key steps at the start that set the foundation for success and make all the difference later on. We're going to start by priming the model in a deep, dark purple. Why purple? Because black is boring and purple is fancy. Okay, but seriously, it's a fantastic choice for adding subtle interest and depth to what might otherwise be a very simple miniature. Unlike plain black, purple creates a rich undertone that gives your metallics more dimension and character. Depending on your overall color scheme, you might also consider a dark blue as an alternative. Both colors bring a unique richness to the base coat while staying neutral enough to complement most metallic shades. This foundational step is simple, but it sets the stage for a more dynamic and visual striking miniature. Next, we're going to add a Zenithal using white ink. If you're not using white ink, where have you been? White ink is like the Swiss Army knife of perfect blends. It creates a beautiful, subtle gradation from deep grays to bright whites with almost no effort. It's like magic in a bottle. As you're spraying, it's important to know that the more you wrap your airbrush around the model, the more light you'll add, but the more shadows you'll erase. Think of it like being under a spotlight versus a diffused, cloudy sky. For this technique, we want to lean more towards the spotlight. Contrast is one of the most important aspects of this process, and this step is key to getting it right. As you work, double-check your model shadows. If you've lost important shadow details like the folds of a cloak or the recessed wings on a chest sigil, it means you've gone too far towards that cloudy day look. But don't worry, there's a quick fix. If you need to restore shadow detail, take an ink or speed paint in your primer color, thin it down just a little bit, and spray it upwards from the bottom of the model. While this won't perfectly undo over highlighting, it should bring back some of the contrast we need in the shadow areas. Now, for the sake of speed, you could skip this step. But one of the things I love about this technique is the simple perfection it brings. There's just something special about a smooth and creamy application of paint, and the Zenithal layer is a big part of that. We're all looking for cheat codes in life, so if you need help with your online presence, then you should check out Squarespace. With Squarespace's new design intelligence, you can have a great website using cutting-edge AI tools in just minutes. Combine that with Squarespace Payments, the easiest way to manage all your transactions in one place, and of course, my favorite flexible design templates with drag and drop features. Squarespace is a no-brainer for creating your perfect website. When you're ready to start, head to squarespace.com for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, use code LYLA to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. All right, back to painting. Once you're happy with your ink Zenithal, it's time to move on to the secret, your metallic layer. For this step, you'll want to spray silver from directly above the model. The key here is to use the brightest silver you have, something that really catches the light. If you happen to have a metallic white, that's even better, as it creates an almost ethereal glow on your miniatures. Take your time with this step, focusing on the areas where light naturally hits the strongest, essentially following the Zenithal highlight you've already applied. By keeping the shadow areas matte and letting the high points gleam with that glossy metallic finish, you can effortlessly achieve a more realistic and dynamic metallic effect. It's a simple yet powerful way to bring depth and contrast to your miniature, making the metal look truly lifelike. Now, a quick tip about metallic paints. They tend to be thicker than standard paints, which can sometimes cause issues with your airbrush. To avoid clogging or uneven coverage, make sure to add a thinner medium if needed. This will help the paint flow smoothly and give you that perfect, even finish we're looking for. Finally, we've reached the step where the magic truly happens. I'm loading a bright blue speed paint into my airbrush and spraying it onto the model. This does more than just add a pop of color, it's what brings all the layers together. As I apply the blue, I'm carefully wrapping it around the model, blending the deep purple base into the shimmering metallic blue of the armor. This creates a seamless transition between shadows and highlights, giving the miniature a cohesive, dynamic look. The interplay of the purple undertones and the metallic shine creates depth and richness, making the armor appear both realistic and striking on the table. As you're applying your speed paint, keep an eye on the metallic shine. If you apply too much speed paint, you can totally obliterate that metallic effect. From here, it's time to tackle the rest of the model. I'm applying silver and gold onto the metallic accents of the armor, being very careful to only apply the paint exactly where I want it. Since this model is so simple, we want to avoid any distractions such as wayward paint. Then it's tan and red on the purity seals, and a base coat of tan for a brown contrast paint on the ropes across his chest. Lastly, it's Reichland Flesh Shade Wash on the gold and seals. Now this is a very simple way to finish up this model, but we can push it even further. On the Sister of Battle, I'm glazing in some pink to help the fabric stand out and take it beyond tabletop standard. But beyond putting more details into your miniature, applying the metallic effect and the color separately opens up so many doors for creativity. You could apply 2 different colors of speed paint to create a duotone effect, or you could even apply object source lighting. No matter what, the ability to apply your metallics and your color separately unlocks so many creative possibilities. Alright, that's it from me. Thanks so much for watching this video. You know the drill, like, comment, subscribe, buy literally anything from the Amazon affiliate links down below and I'll make a little bit of money. Doesn't cost any extra for you, it's just a little bit for me. Thanks so much, I'll see you next time.